I bought this 1999 Super Impreza for just 650 quid off Facebook Marketplace. But for some reason, the previous owner didn't renew its MOT. Is this because it's only good for a scrapyard? Well, we're about to find out. I've been searching for a car to use on the rainy days that we get here in the UK because the car I daily now is on semi-slick tyres, which is not ideal for this country at all. Whoa. So when I saw this four-wheel drive rally legend pop up on Facebook Marketplace for just £650, I had to go and get it. Just about to sign the paperwork over on my new car. And so far, this car was turning out to be brilliant. So why did the previous owner not renew its MOT if it seems to be such a solid car that drives so amazing? Because from what I can tell, the only thing that would be an MOT failure on this car right now is this front left tyre, because the outer edge is completely bald. There is also a minor leak coming from the exhaust, but it's not severe enough to be an MOT failure. So either the previous owner truly couldn't be bothered to renew this MOT because of a simple £30 tyre, or there's more wrong with this car than he was letting on. We're going to find all that out in today's video when we take it down to get its MOT test. But first, I've got a few things I want to fix and get ready before we take it to get tested. And no, we're not taking it to get an STD test, although we probably should because of what it went through with its previous owner. Take them to a lay-by and do things. So, the things that we are aiming to fix today are the fog light, the seal around the window of the driver's door so it closes properly, along with an entire new driver's door to replace this rusty one, putting the side skirt back on. I have a new rear section of the exhaust to hopefully fix the leak and also make it less drony. Take it down to get the new tyre put on, and then it will be ready for its MOT test. So without further ado, let's cue the music. So I pulled the car into the garage, and the first job I wanted to get done was stripping and replacing the front door, which turned out to be much more difficult than I thought. But it started well, and the door card, speaker and mirror were all off, and I was making good progress until my limited knowledge began to show. At this point, my theory was to just undo every bolt I see and pull the whole window and regulator out. To some of you guys, this is probably an easy job, but to someone like me who has never done this before, it was incredibly complicated, and after persevering for over 4 hours, I had to give in. Otherwise I wouldn't get the rest of the car ready in time for its MOT. 4 hours work and achieved absolutely nothing. Now this was a bit of a setback and extremely frustrating, but I was determined for day 2 to go much smoother. Alright, day 2 of trying to fix this thing, and in day 1 we achieved absolutely nothing, which is painful. But fingers crossed, today we're going to achieve a little bit more out of this pile of stuff that we have. And we're going to start off with what's inside this box. Yeah, boy. We've got an exhaust. So I've gone and bought a standard exhaust because we plan on doing a 5 to 6 hour road trip down to Cornwall. And yeah, 5 to 6 hours listening to that drone. I think I'll be deaf by the time we get there. So I began jacking up the car to give myself easier access to the exhaust. And luckily for me, because this was an aftermarket system, it meant the bolts must have been changed pretty recently because they came out nice and easy. I then dropped it from the 3 exhaust hangers, and before you know it, the exhaust was out. And the size difference between the old and new was huge. But now I had the old exhaust out, I could see where the leak was coming from, and unfortunately, it was from the original part of the exhaust. But that can be something we focus on another time, as it should still pass the MOT as it is. So for now, it was time to put the standard back box in, which went in nice and easy. So the system was in, and I could now drop the car and start it up for the first time. That's way quieter. I think there might be an ever so slight leak, but it's not that bad, and there's nothing I can do. It has to be welded because it's on the actual join on the original old exhaust. So let's give it a rev and see how it sounds. It's definitely leaking a little bit, but overall I think that's a mission success. So let's move on to the next thing that needs fixing, the fog light. Okay, so this is the fog light that we're going to be repairing. This one is still absolutely fine. They both actually still work. Now this is the one we're replacing it with. It should be a direct replacement, but the wire right there is a little bit frayed. So I'm gonna get some tape and fingers crossed it still works. So I began taking the bolts out from the fog light, and one of them came straight out, but of course the rest of them all rounded. So it meant I had to drill them out. Once I had drilled them, all I had to do was unplug the wire and it simply came out. Fog light out. What I actually found easier, instead of trying to repair the broken wire on the new fog light, I just took the bulb and lead that still works from the original light and swapped them over. And just like that, we had 2 fresh looking fog lights that really cleaned up the front of the car. It works. So the fog light is on and working brilliantly, and now we can move on to doing the side skirt. Luckily, when I bought the car, the guy still had the original side skirt, so it meant I just had to replace a few clips. And then I just used some self-tapping screws for the underneath to hold it all together. So, the majority of the work is done. We're going to have to just ignore the driver's door for now. I'm not technically skilled enough to do that, so we're going to ignore that. But we're going to do the sealant around the window. That should be a 5-second job. Get this tyre fitted, and then it's ready for its MOT. Alright, it's MOT day, and we're about to go and drive the Subaru on the road for the first time ever. So, let's get it started. Cold start. It started, that's all that matters. Alright, let's hit the road. First time on the road, let's go. Oh, it's nice to be back in a manual as well. You can hear a lot of wind coming from this sill where I've not been able to do it yet, but it feels alright. Feels pretty solid, to be fair. I'll put the lights on, there we go. Put the fog lights on. Jeez, they're working fog lights now. That's sick. The drive so far was going pretty smoothly, but this is where I started to notice something. I feel like my door's just not shut properly. I think it's really open. Looking in my mirror, it's definitely not shut properly. I'm gonna have to do that when we get off the main road. There's a risk to doing it though, because the door card, if I slam it too hard, the door card just disintegrates and comes off in your hand, and then the door will be flapping open. Indicators work. But I've not even put my foot down yet. Should we do a little speed test once we've closed this door? Yep, I think the door card's come off and the door is not closed. That's just annoying. That's why it's so windy in here, because the bloody door's not shut. But I can't shut it because oh look, the blimmin' door's falling to bits. My installation has not been successful. Oh, bloody hell. That's... Christ. This thing's falling apart. How the hell do I close this door? I don't think I can. I mean, look at the door card. It's in bits. We're in third. We'll do a third gear pull. Not a lot to happen there. A bit of noise, to be fair. I did not expect the noise to come from it. That sounded all right. But yeah, nothing happened. The MOT centre we had decided to take the Subaru to was about 45 minutes away, and the lack of radio was starting to have an effect. Look in the street up, she gon' make it buzz. Might be able to do a little pull here. Oh, let me do the door. That's impossible. The door card is so in pieces, it's impossible to close that door. Right, first gear pull. It's not bad. It's not bad. And then, all of a sudden, it was bad. Oh shit, my door is fully open. My door is open. I cannot close my door. Oh, Jesus Christ! My door is open! What the flipping hell? It wasn't even on the latch. Okay, that's an issue. Let's hope that's not an MOT failure. Door won't close. Flipping hell. I've never had a door open on me like that. Four-wheel drive power there, getting me out the roundabout. No wheel spin at all. The clips are, yeah. Is this car really fit for an MOT? Christ. They're gonna sit in this and go, God damn, this is a piece of shit. But it's my piece of shit and I love it. Oh, we'll make it through that. Clearly, sitting in silence was making me go insane, so it was a good job we were only round the corner from the MOT centre. We are pulling into the garage now. Everyone have their fingers crossed. I definitely do, and I need it, I think. But if this old thing gets through, what a blimmin' miracle. Alright, let's park it up and send it in. This was it then. The Subaru had been dropped off at the garage and straight away they had begun changing the tyre and doing the last few minute checks before the MOT. And later on that day, before you know it, I had received a message. And not a good one. It failed. and by the looks of things there's quite a bit wrong with it. Currently the garage is quoting how much it will cost to get this back on the road, and with the amount that needs doing, I have no idea how much it will be. But this does now explain why the previous owner never renewed the MOT. He must have known that it would fail, and now I have to pay the price. So make sure you subscribe so you can join us next week where we find out just how much it will be to repair, and if it's even worth trying to save this little old Impreza from the scrapyard.